How do I use the files that I've been allowed to download from GrafixSoft? This is an invitation that I received to download the files. I'll go ahead and open it, and that brings me into the Google Drive. Now, before I can download anything here, I've got to be sure that I am logged into the appropriate account, and this was the account that the invitation was to. The other one was not, so I couldn't download it to that file. I had to be in the file that the invitation was to. If I want to download all of the files in just one download, then I would come here to the folder, I would right click, and I would click on download. That would then start to create a downloading file, okay, a zip file. Now, I won't see that file actually download if I have left my settings to download to a specific folder. Most browsers default to download to the download folder on your hard drive. So here we go. I would be then in this downloads folder right here is where it would download to. Now in my specific case, I have asked it to download to a specific location. And so when this is done creating the download file, it will come up and ask me where I want to download to. Now let me explain that a little better. I'm going to cancel this download, but it would have, if I had not changed my settings, it would have gone to my download folder. In my case, I went to my settings here in Chrome. I went down to settings, and down under advanced settings, so I'll need to open advanced. I have reset my download. So down here you see downloads. Its default location is to go to the download folder, as I explained. But I have changed this. I have taken the setting where it says ask where to save each file before downloading, and I've turned it on. See, if that's turned off, which is the default, it will download to here, and you won't see it ask you where it went. That's just where it is. I could change where that folder would be and tell it to download to everything to a specific location that I want, and it won't ever ask me. In my case, I want it to always ask me where it's going to download to, so that's the setting I have done. So now, if I were to, here we go, let's make sure we're right in the right account. This is the one it was sent to. If I were to create this download here, then this zip file it's making, it will create the zip, and it will invisibly be downloaded to the folder that I had chosen, or my download folder. Okay, now in my case, I'm going to cancel that download. In my case, I tell it to ask, and let me show you what that looks like. We'll do that by just downloading one specific image. So I'll right click on the image I want to download just one specific image rather than the entire folder, and I'll click download on it. Now this is only going to download this specific image, and now it asks me where I want to download it to, and I will tell it where I want to go to, you see, and then it will download to that specific folder. Now let's try another one here. So I'm going to take this file, I'm going to download it. It's going to come up and ask me where I want to download to. I have chosen to download it to GrafixSoft Downloaded Art, and I'm going to save it. Okay, now I can either go to that folder using the File Explorer, or in this case, since it's downloaded here, I can just click on that down arrow and tell it to show me in the folder. And you see it's on my hard drive, my external hard drive, GrafixSoft Downloaded Art, and there it is. So once I've located my file, I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to open with my Corel Paint Shop Pro 2018 or 19, whatever it is that you've purchased. And that opens up in Corel Paint Shop, and this is file is already sized. You see, it's already 8.5 by 11, ready to be printed. So, if I want to just print this as pre-printed art, then I would choose Print. This isn't the printer I want to print to, nor it's the settings, so I'm going to go to Printer. I'm going to select the printer that I've set up and go to Properties, and I've already created a profile as described in the last video. See, without selecting that profile, it's just going to print on regular paper, and it's going to be borders. It's going to have borders on it. It's going to be portrait mode and so on. None of my settings are correct. So I create a setting here, and let's see what those settings are. Those settings are best photo. You can click fix photo or not. That's up to you. It will be my sheet feeder. That's specific to this printer. This is the type of paper you want. That's for the hammer mill color copy digital cover. That's the kind of paper we use, and this is the setting it uses. And we're gonna, it's 8.5 by 11. It's going to be borderless, and it's going to be landscape. Okay. Now, once you have made those settings, you can click on Advanced here, and you can choose to have those settings saved. So you can save settings right here. When you save the settings, then you can give it the name that you want. For me, that name would be Overprint Art 8.5 by 11. Once you've done that the first time, this will always be on your preset page. So I will click that and say OK, and then say OK, and it's always there. If you're only using this printer for this project, then go into your printer settings over here for your printer, devices and printers, select that printer and manage your device and create that same printer preferences right in here, just as we did a moment ago. You see, in the by going to the main, choosing best photo, choosing fixed, choosing sheet, going to advanced, and choosing to save those settings and use the name that you prefer. Mine is for Overprint Art, and save that, and then you've got those settings. And then take here, when you're done with all of that, then set it as default. Okay? So when you do that, that will become your default printer for this program, and anything else you use, you've got to set it for the other printers devices that you want. Give me a chance to get back here where we were. So I'm going to close this and start over again. I'm ready to print this. I've just loaded it. I go to print. It's not got the printer I want, only because I didn't set it as my default, because I use many printers. And so if it's not my default, then you're going to have to change to the printer that you want to print this on, and choose the profile that you just created. That profile, you see, gives me all of these settings that I want. Okay? So I've got those settings. I'll say OK, OK. And now as long as I'm in Corel Paint, it will keep those settings, but always check just to make sure that this all looks correct. I will set the number of copies I want, and then I can print it. Alright, with that being said, since we're in Paint Shop, understand that I can add text right here. And so if I'm just doing like a room sign or something, I can choose the font I want, I can choose the size I want, and I can type in whatever text I want it to do. And we've got, I'll be making other videos on how to add your own text and so on later, but that's just so you understand that you can add these things. We've also will be creating templates that will help you, and I'll create another video that will show you how to get the name information out of your names program and be able to just paste it in to here.